Hi, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be going over the installation of Taleo Connect Client. Specifically, we're going to be going over the installation of Taleo Connect Client 15A. So where do we get Taleo Connect Client? As we know, Taleo Connect Client is provided by Oracle. So what we're going to do is head over to their e-delivery site. So edelivery.oracle.com. It'll ask you to sign in. This is the same sign in that you would use for your My Oracle support. If you cannot sign in here, you need to talk to your Taleo account executive about getting access to the downloadable content. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign in. We're asked to accept the export restrictions. So simply click accept. And now we're going to filter by programs, which is the default. So we're going to start typing, and we're just going to type in Taleo. And you'll notice now we've got two options. One's Connect and one's Anywhere. We are interested in Connect, so we're going to click on that. Then we're going to select Platform. The platform we're going to select is Microsoft Windows 32-bit. It is a 32-bit application, although it runs perfectly fine on any 64-bit environment. So we're simply going to click on Connect and then Continue, which is down here at the bottom. Okay, and as you can see, it comes out with Oracle Taleo Platform Cloud Service Connect 15.1, which does stand for 15A. If we were looking for previous releases, we can select alternate release, and then it'll ask us which one. As you can see here, they are actually by version number. So we've got 14A, 14B, 15A. Going backwards, we've got a 13C, 13B, 13A. So since we're interested in the most recent 15A, we're just going to select that and select Continue. It's going to ask to read the license agreement, so simply click We Have and Continue. Now, these are the application pieces that are provided for us. Now, Taleo Connect Client is a Java-based application, and henceforth it runs just fine on a Windows environment as well as a Unix Linux environment. As we can see, the first one here is the Taleo Connect app broker application. We're not interested in that because we're interested in Taleo Connect Client. Then we have the application data model, both for Windows and Unix, and then we also have the client application installer for both Windows and Unix. We're going to be utilizing Windows for this, this demonstration and tutorial, so we will select those. Now, instead of having to download, I've actually already downloaded these. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at them. So in my installations directory, here under 15A, you'll see the actual 5 downloads that were available to us. So we are interested in Windows. You will want to install the application data model first. The application data model is the maps that that Taleo uses to communicate with the database. So we're going to select Next. We're going to accept the agreement. Select Next. Now, its default installation is right off the root, Product Integration Pack. Now, I'm going to compartmentalize this. So I am going to create a directory called TCC on my C drive, and then Product Integration Pack I'm going to suffix with a 15A because that is the version. In the future, when 15B comes out, I will install it also to the TCC directory, but call it Product Integration Pack 15B. So I simply click Next and Install. Okay, so we'll take a quick look at the installation folder. What we see here are the basically the data models that are necessary to communicate with the Taleo system. As you can see, we've got all of our for recruiting, we've got our 11 through 15A, so it works the same with SmartOrg. To give you an example of how backwards compatible this is, you can still work on integrations that were done in 702 from the old professional. So it is a very backwards compatible system. Okay, the next thing we're going to want to install is the client application installer for Windows. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on that, and we're going to allow that to run, and we're going to click on next. I'm going to accept the agreement. It is asking for our encryption key server configuration. Now, if you do not have an encryption key server host, simply leave it blank and click on next. The next thing it's going to ask you for are where your product integration packs are located. I'm simply going to browse out to the same directory that I installed them. So in my TCC directory, product integration pack 15A. Okay, now it's going to ask us where we would like to install it. It by default installs to C Taleo Connect client. Once again, I'm going to compartmentalize it. I am going to put it in the same TCC directory that my product integration packs. Because I've been in computers longer than I care to admit, I'm going to remove the spaces so we have a defined path to the executable that does not have spaces in it. And once again, I'm going to add 15A as a suffix to the back of it. Client 15A. And that will allow me to compartmentalize further where the application is installed. So I'm simply going to click on Next. This is for the Start menu folder, so I'm just going to suffix this with 15A. No need to take the spaces out. And your choice to create a desktop icon or a quick launch icon. Next and install. Okay, so that's gone ahead and finished. We're going to go ahead and launch. I don't need to view the README. You certainly can if you like. And when we come up, you'll notice that we now have the Taleo product. Now, as you can see, nothing's in here, so we're going to have to create the endpoint information. So we're going to select a product. In this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and select recruiting 15A. The next thing we need to do is specify the endpoint. The protocol is HTTPS. The host is your Taleo zone. In this case, I'm going to be using ThinkTalent's partner zone. So, our thinktalent.taleo.net. The port is going to be 443, which is your standard SSL port. 443. And we are going to use basic authentication. Now you may be asking, what username and password do I use? A user for Taleo Connect client is simply a user of the Taleo system. If you go into Smart.org in the users and create a user there, as long as you assign the user type of integration user, they will be able to access Taleo via TCC. So I'm going to enter my name. And the ping comes available. And it comes up and we have a new endpoint has been created for the zone. So I'm simply going to click OK, and it will launch TCC. Now before we do anything, the one thing we're going to have to do is update the custom dictionary for TCC. So in the front end of Taleo, you are allowed to create user-defined fields, and plenty of them. We will not see those until we update the product integration pack. And as you can see, we're using the standard edition of Recruiting 15A. So I'm going to click this little icon, Synchronize Custom Fields, and it will pop up with the connectivity information, which is the same thing we just filled out. The username and password is now sticky, and so we're going to click on Synchronize. In the bottom right, we can see the indicator that it's moving forward, so it gives you the progression. And we're going to wait till that hits 100%. Okay, as you can see, the dictionary has been updated. It gives you the last time it was customized. If you create any user-defined fields from this point on in the recruiting section of Taleo, you will once again have to come back here and synchronize custom fields for those new user-defined fields to show up in Taleo. We're going to do one more. We're going to do the Smart Org 15A. And this goes by much quicker because there aren't as many UDFs in SmartOrg. Okay, so now we've actually updated our custom dictionaries for both SmartOrg and recruiting. If you have transitions or performance, you will also want to get those updated. So if we did have transitions, we would click here and update it. So this concludes the tutorial on how to install Taleo Connect Client. Tune in for more tutorials soon. Thank you.